Good evening. All right, I don't know if there's anybody out there or not. Oh, there is. Okay. So is the audio good to go? We got good audio out there? Give me an okay on that. Why don't we head over to the... Oh, I got to click with this, not my finger. Why don't we head over to the screen share? And now we're going to look at what we're making here. So this is Gizzard Gary's logo in 3 dimensions now. Worked on this during the early bird show the other day, yesterday morning, and then printed out a couple of little ones. The little ones did not print very good, but they printed okay, and then printed out some large ones that did not print very good, and then, well, we'll see how they did. So is everybody ready? All right, so now we're going to flip back. Oh, look at this, the Gizzard of the hour. We're going to flip back over to the real screen, back over here. Don't be scared. Going back to real life. Bam. There we go. So this is the thing with all of its supports in place. What are you talking about, supports? Let's go back over to the thing. So if I were to flip this, oh, first I got to ask it, how long is this going to take to create? So it's taken this 3-dimensional file and it's turning it into a whole bunch of little lines. Like if you squeeze this out in a hot glue gun, it would take 1 hour and 23 minutes. This is the little version. So now we're going to preview it, and now you're going to see all this blue stuff up here. Is that snot? No. Is that moss or some kind of mold? No. That is the support structure that needs to happen in order for all those little bits and pieces to show up and not be sagging. So why don't we take a look at what we're talking about here? We're going to see what we're looking at. We're looking at the side of the gizzard thing. That's the back with all the weird stuff on it. Now we're looking at the top of it, right? I'm going to go over here and start to remove layers as if it was a candle melting or if it was a witch being poured water on. And now we're going to go to the side and watch that same thing happen. You got the little shadow of gizzard, and then see how it gets created. Isn't that neat? So that's a way you can use to test this stuff. So now let's look at it a little bit different angle, and we'll slowly remove angle by angle, and you'll see that, you know, when it starts to make his weird G's, Gizzard didn't think about me 3D printing this when he made his logo, obviously. So when these things come up and start to come together, there has to be support there. So all that blue snot has to come from way down here. It just grows up there for no reason, and then eventually, oh, it's right there just in time to make the good parts come together. You'll notice it's also happening down here over in this little area for his gun, because he insists on carrying a rifle. And then boom, right around here, the rifle has to just start to appear in thin air. And it's this blue snot happens, and then the rifle happens in thin air. And then boom, everything else happens and we get a gizzard. So let's take a look back at real life. So 5-something hours, this for the little guy. Let's go grab a little guy. We're going to have a commercial for somebody while I go grab the little guy that I didn't come over here with. Barbecue's out there, right? We're 95% of the way to having a fancy Tutti Frutti version of this also, FYI. So we'll probably, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but we're probably going to have a Tutti Frutti version of this thanks to Foss. Actually, these are both thanks to Foss. All this thread is Foss's thread. He supplied it. So here we go. This is the little guy that we just seen on the screen over there. That takes an hour and something, hour and a half to print. And you can see we got all the little elements there because the glow is decent and it glows good. It's not big enough for Gizzard. He likes things to be bigger than this. So now we made it in 100 centimeters big. And that's what we're looking at here. So let's start digging into it with these pliers. Turns out people in New York envy these pliers. It must be sad to live in New York if you can't even afford to have flyers like this, or it's not legal to have flyers like this. I'm not sure of the circumstances. Little piece of glow-in-the-dark plastic, which I'm going to reuse at some point. So if you come up with ideas of how to use this plastic so I'm not wasting it, let me know. What I like to do is start at the top. Back in my day, when I first started 3D printing weeks ago, I started pulling it off at the top, and now I still pull it off at the top. Oh, my goodness. So that one went flying. It's not Gizzard's fault that that went flying, but it is his logo. I'm just saying. All right, we're going to pull this other off of here. See, on this side, it's creepy because you can't tell where the gizzard begins and where the stuff is. On this side, it's a little easier because you can see pretty easy where gizzard is. So I'm going to pull some more off of this side. It looks like it's connected here all the way around to down here, which I'm not a fan of because that means something could break on gizzard rather than the support structure. So I like to go in and twist. I grab that technique, or I learned that technique from pit bulls. This is when they go in to attack an innocent person. They twist like this. Let's see. Let's not break that rifle. So let's see if we... Oh, look at that. Perfect. So for some reason, the mechanics or the robots that make this all happen do a pretty good job of making it where the plastic doesn't, the support structures don't hurt the model. Oh, look at that. This is a little bit fragile. It's a little bit fragile. It's Gizzard's fault because he wasn't paying attention to how I would have to be 3D printing this in the future. No, it's not his fault. It's his logo, though. Just saying. All right, so it looks like it came out okay. Boom. So now what we've got is, look at this. This part's fragile, so don't be yanking on it. Whoever ends up getting one of these, don't yank on this because that's not what it's made for. So we use the Gun Channels logo down at the bottom to keep it together because, again, Gizzard isn't paying attention to how we're going to 3D print this in the future. So he made these two pieces not touch each other. We use the Gun Channel to bridge that gap, though, right? And it'll also make it stand up because, again, he made his logo into a wheel. So it'd be difficult for us to make this in any other way. So now we made it stand up. We put the things there. We extruded them. And then we made a gizzard by making a ball and wiggling it around, smushing it. Made another ball for its head. And I think it kind of made eyes. I don't know. We're going to have to find out if that works or not. Oh, it looks like it's kind of lopsided now that I see it in real life. And then we ended up taking the rest of his logo and extruding it. And I think that made a pretty decent tail and feet and beak and whatever you call the top of a chicken head. We also did that for the rifle, pulled that off and separated it, pulled it away from the rest of the model and jammed it into his side. But this time spent some time making a sling so that it's incorporated into the 3D print. And it's pretty neat. I would say this is one of the neatest ones so far, even though the chicken isn't that big. It's just neat to see it all hanging out like this and having a thing that hangs out. You can see it from different angles and whatnot. So the question is, would you paint this green, I guess, right? And then this is supposed to be black, right? And this is supposed to be green and the chicken's orange. Would you paint it? And if, oh, here, whoever is a, what do you call them? Hopefully you guys already did this. Let's see. So whoever the mods are, hopefully already did this. We're going to find out by eventually slowly opening. Are you kidding me? Is this long, the screen share? That's YouTube censorship. All right. I don't need to see my poll. You guys already deleted that one? Where did it go? Yeah, okay, good. Thank you for deleting that one. And all right, let's make sure. Yeah, thanks for deleting that one. Boom, go back over here. So yeah, oh, I gotta go back to here now. Oh, you know what? I can do this. Wait, can I? Wait, no, can I? No, no, that wouldn't work. Come on, there. I don't know why I needed to come back here because I think we were done. So that was the Gizzard logo. So I don't know. Is it worth printing something like this? What did it take? 5 hours? Something like that? Got another one printing. Oh, we got the other Tutti Frutti one here. Hold on. We're moments away. There's no way for me to drag this camera over there. I could almost drag the 3D printer over here, but let's not be crazy. I'm going to go see how many. I'm going to set this here. Where's the other one? We're going to set this here. And then I'm going to go check real quick on how much that thing's got left. Here, Gizzard, you take over the show. All right, thanks, Gizzard. All right, so it's got 97%, so we'll see what you think. Is it worth sticking around for that? Let's go look at the survey results by clicking this. There we go. Boom. Would you like a 3D version of your logo? We only got 3 votes. Yeah, for free, and 2 for yes, and I would pay handsomely. So let me know if you're interested in paying handsomely, and we'll get you a logo. Let's see. Now we're going to end that poll with only 3 votes. So that means there's 2 narcs watching. This is how you do that. You figure out, here's a little behind the scenes. If you see 5 people watching live and only 3 votes, 2 robots or narcs, YouTube narcs. So we got rid of that. And now we'll go with, should we wait for the Tutti Frutti version to be done? It's a 97%. I don't know how you spelled Tutti Frutti, so, oh, but I should spell wait correctly. Boom. Okay, so how long did it take? We edited the thing. We created the thing, the file itself on the Gizzard Gary early bird show on Sunday morning. So it took, I don't know, an hour or something to fiddle with it. It took me longer to figure out how to get that chicken to look like something, not just a flat disc or something. I wanted it to be like a 3-dimensional-ish chicken. And then playing with different, I'm not an expert on this, I'm learning this. So playing with different techniques with the software, the different tools and things to create the rifle and things. Because at first I was going to stick another like pre-made rifle, but the problem is Gizzard has this foul-looking rifle that he insists is an AR-15, and it doesn't look like the AR-15s that I found online that were free to use. So kind of played around with doing it. I could probably still play with it, make it into a tube or something, but instead I took the flat and extruded it and then kind of stuck it in there. I don't know. I think it came out pretty decent on the thing, since it's, it's a representation of a rifle anyway. So it's not like, it would look weirder with the real rifle like his first one did. So anyway, I think that looked pretty good. And then anyway, so it took like an hour or something. And then we printed that first one in 2 hours, and we had the little version done during the show. So that's all happens during the show. It's pretty neat to look at it. It kind of looks like a kidney bean, I guess, the chicken, when you look at it from these 3 dimensions. And then when you go back to here and you look at the lines on it, I don't know. It doesn't come up real good in here because of the lighting, and this thing washes out. The Tutti Frutti one will look a little different if we end up waiting for it. Let's find out if we end up waiting for it or not. Only got 5 votes, so we probably won't get that many votes on this one. Oh, 100% of the 2 votes is yes to wait for the Tutti Frutti version. You know what's lame is you can't highlight this thing. How hard would it be to make it so we could highlight this on the screen? YouTube. It's actually pretty hard, probably. All right, so we got a bunch of people checking it out. I don't have a logo, and I already have a printer, but if I did need one, I might pay somebody to do a model for me, since I don't know how to model. Well, it's no problem. And in fact, that's one of the things that I was going to say, is that I'm not probably the one to print, because I can only print this PLA, this stuff that's cornstarch. And it's not real durable. So I would say if anybody like Gizzard, if you ever wants these logos, I'll give him the STL files, and then he could send them to a place that prints on decent material, like with a real printer, and then he'd get one, printed in a more professional method than these, which are basically just prototypes. All right, well, nobody else really saying anything over there. So we'll go back to, I guess, watching this, and I'll go check. It was at 97% last time. What I'll do is collect up all this, because I'm too cheap to throw it away. And I throw it in a bag, and eventually I'll figure out what to do with it all, because it's glow in the dark. And I can't really turn this light off, so we're not going to. 98%. 98%. So we're waiting a little bit longer. Have something to drink if you like. This is my coffee and chocolate concoction that I drink. All right, I'll go grab some other stuff we can look at in the meantime. Gizzard can take the show back here. I don't really have any large versions of barbecue, but we do have this large version of a Foss. Let's move this out a little bit. We got this old version of a Gizzard, which nobody likes anymore. It doesn't even have any gun channel stuff on it. It's the wrong kind of chicken. It's the wrong kind of gun, but it is bigger chicken. We got the Kingpin. Which is basically the same size as Foss. And then we got the Woods hanging out. He has both an axe and a gun. And where we're going to stick him? Next to everybody, I guess. See, everybody's the same size. Gizzard's basically the same size. He's just big and he's wider. We got the tiny little version of Woods in green. And then the original version of Woods. This was the 16-bit version of Woods. We're at 98% over there. And the unveiling of the new G23. Bam. G23 hasn't even seen this yet, unless he's watching right now. The new G23. Only one person has seen this one so far. New G23. All right, so next we'll grab these back out of here. We'll shove them back over there, and we'll let Gizzard take back the show, and we'll go grab the Tutti Frutti one that's hopefully almost done. It's at 98%. It's at 98%, so. We'll throw this one at a dolphin because we don't want it anymore. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's done. I'm going to go grab it. Let Gizzard take the show back here. All right, I got to put on a sweatshirt for this one. All right, so here we go with the Tutti Frutti one. Don't be scared or whatever. These ones were glow in the dark green, so they look kind of white. This, however, is the Tutti Frutti version in some kind of a tie-dye looking Tutti Frutti colors that Foss sent me. It prints out in weird colors, so this one started out being like a brown color down here, and then ended up being like a blue. Kind of looks pretty neat. So, unfortunately, Tutti Frutti color blows chunks, and it did not make the bottom of the rifle, nor the part over there, and you just got some junky fluff over here. Is it Gizzard's fault? Probably not. Is it Foss's fault? Foss's fault? Probably not Foss's fault at all. Is it Foss's fault? Probably not. Is it the printer's fault? Maybe. My fault? No. So, let's see. I don't know what happened there. Probably the temperature of the, what do you call it? The thread or whatever. Even though I have this cooking it a little bit hotter than regular. I have it cooking at the same temperatures as the glow in the dark. It obviously. Oh, you know what though? Let's take a look. Oh, I killed it. The other one did have. Let's take a look over here again. Let's go back over here. What the hell is that noise? Let's go back to preview. Yeah. We figured it out. See this? Notice anything different? What do you notice that's different? What do you notice that's different? On this one, notice the blue snot coming up and touching the gun at the bottom? We're going to go back to real life. Hold on. Back to real life. No blue snot. Lack of blue snot right here. Is that my fault? No, it's not my fault. It's whoever made this software, because they should have anticipated that I didn't know about that, and they didn't put the blue snot there. So that means the gun didn't happen. Learning curve. So next time I make one of these, I'm going to have to go look at that one view first. So basically, this version of Gizzard, it looks like, has an SBR. So is that illegal? Yeah, well, he has to deal with the ATF on this one, I guess. All right, so here we go. We're going to go back into the de-cloaking, or what is this? The deburring of the Gizzard logo. Just a little tiny bit in the front here, mainly just, I imagine, so you get a nice square G on there. Look at a nice square G. Nice. I'm going to go to the back now. Very little tree on this one. I don't know if my Ender 5 is trying to be tough or something, but didn't need very many things. One thing I might check is I usually set my radius or whatever, my overhang to 50. I might have checked this one to a different number, and it decided that something about the math didn't need to bring a rifle, or didn't need to bring support up there. All right, let's go back to the top. So again, because of the way Gizzard decided to make his logo, recklessly, for those of us who are 3D printing it vertically, you see how wobbly it is? The printer knew that that was reckless, so it made these trees here. So I'm going to pull that tree off. Pull this off from here. Pull that off from there. I like to nibble. I just like to nibble, because see, there's that strap. Because Gizzard insists on having his rifle on a sling. Wiggle, wiggle. Oh, look, the whole dang thing came off. Nice. Super nice. Look at how crazy this is. It needed a little snot right there. All right, well, perfect. Except for the part where, it didn't make his gun all the way, so he has an SBR and just sort of a weird strap around it. I'm just going to cut this. So, you know what? At first this was going to be a complete failure. Now it's only a partial failure. So Let's see. We're going to clip off these little snots off of the tail. It's interesting how it makes the tail too, because again, Gizzard, no regard for someone trying to 3D print his logo vertically, right? He just decided to make all the ends of these things just exist in space. So what the printer has to do is start making that tip exist in space, and then later on attach it to the rest of his tail. So what happens on the Tutti Frutti colors, failure. He's got a droopy tail now because of it. And it's not Gizzard's fault so much, but maybe next time when he starts a YouTube channel and creates a logo for it, he'll think about if someone's going to vertically print in 3 dimensions that logo. All right, there we go. Boom. So now I know what to do in the future if I'm ever turning another logo into a 3D. Some things, some potentialities to do. So I'll probably have to tell the one software to like manually add supports there, or maybe, like I say, adjust this one number down from, if you adjust that number up, it'll waste less time and less plastic. If you adjust it down, it'll make a nicer print. So anyway, so kind of neat. So this one I assume is a little more brittle, but no, I shouldn't go around assuming that. It seems pretty tough. I'm sort of putting some flex on here. This one is pretty strong. Knock on wood. These things are pretty strong. So there you go. Another Gizzard. It's not really that tutti frutti, honestly. It's more like a blue color, right? Oh, snap. It's got money. Hold on. Look at this. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. That is 1/8 of what we made in November. So I appreciate that very much. I don't know if Gizzard's happy with this or not. I definitely appreciate Gizzard letting me screw around with his logo, not being offended or suing me for playing with it. I'll print another of the Tutti Frutti ones that don't break, and then I'll let him choose which ones he wants or what. And then hopefully he's okay with me sending some of these out to people who participate in his show if I'm sending them stuff. Even Sierra makes seconds of their bullets. What does that mean? What are we talking about? Right on. So let's see. Right on. Cool. All right. Well, I was just watching Clover doing something and shooting that weird, goofy old FUD gun. And this thing was almost done. So I figured I could. This one had printed earlier when I was out walking. It finished printing. So what I'll do is something like this on a 5-hour print. Usually I'll start a 5-hour print before I go to bed. And then sometimes, like I was telling Barbecue yesterday, I'll drink a ton of water and then go to bed. And then at some point I'll have to wake up and pee. And then hopefully it'll be while this thing's done. Then I'll start another one. And then if I'm sleeping long enough, I'll get a couple of prints in overnight. But in this case, I was printing it during the day, went out walking, and I came home and it was done. So this one was right behind it. It's crazy. This one started, and I started one here. Let me show you what happens when there's a failure, an utter failure. So this happened. Again, because of the whole gun situation, I was printing this one in green, and I was minding my business doing other things. And then same thing happened. The gun went nuts, went fizzled out. So I stopped the print, wasted this much plastic, and then actually I had fiddled with the print again, but I guess I didn't check it good. So it printed poorly again. But yeah, so I don't know what to do with this. It kind of has the Gun Channels G on it. It kind of has weird bottom things, and it has these weird legs. So I'm too cheap to throw it away. So if you got an idea what to do with this, let me know. But anyway, so that was, if this is 5 hours, what is this? 2 something? 2 probably hours maybe? It's hard to say. You got to think that this takes a little extra time to fiddle with all that. This doesn't take much time. And then it probably takes a little more time when it's doing the chicken. So, and then it doesn't take much time to do the top. So this is probably like 2 something hours into the print. And then hundreds of dollars worth of plastic, it's wasted. You can't really do anything with it. So I throw it in the ocean of dolphins. But you could also shred it and then remelt it extrude it into thread again. But it seems like a lot of work. All right. Well, with that, then we'll wrap it up. Thanks again for tuning in. I guess I put this probably on the wrong channel. I should have put this on the gear channel, but then I wouldn't have got the super chat. So thanks again to Gun Library Garrett for that. Click. And I don't know. I don't think anything else is happening tonight. It's pretty late. But if something does, check it out. There's some other shows happening later on this week. You can check out the Gizzard every Friday evening and every Saturday morning when he hosts long format shows focused on guns and sometimes, often, our Second Amendment, what it protects, and has a whole bunch of folks in the community that get to look forward to having a place to rally and learn and participate. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, thank you, man. So again, thanks, Gary, for letting me fiddle around with his logo and the other folks that let me screw with theirs. And until next time, thanks for watching. I'll click a brand thing here and click one of these. Oh, you know what? I'll use Gizzard's thing on the way out. As soon as Thank you for supporting our projects. If you'd like to buy us a cup of coffee, check out our Patreon channel.
The guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thank you for watching gunwebsites.com.